You have 100,000 people living in Newton County, and you're paying your county attorney $1.1 million.
It is a lot of money.
But several board members say Craig is asked to do too much, so the problem is really the board's to address, if they can manage to put it on the agenda.
I don't set the agenda.
Well, you can set the agenda. You're a commissioner. You can put something on the agenda.
No. There has to be 2 commissioners where our agenda set up. 3 commissioners for us to pass someplace on the agenda. You just can't go out and put something.
Commissioner, is that your excuse for not addressing why the county spent $1 million on their county attorney this year?
I believe he's earned it.
Because you couldn't put it on the agenda?
No, I believe he has earned it.
So how is he earning it? Billable hours. Unlike many other county attorneys, Craig is not salaried. He's billing the county for every hour he works, hours he also accrues from other jobs he does for the county. Besides county attorney, Craig is also a water consultant and project manager for the county's development of a new reservoir. Citizens question those roles too. 17 years and 21 million county tax dollars into the project. There's no reservoir and no federal permit needed to build it.
I don't think we're getting our money's worth.
Citizens also question why Craig hasn't used those earnings to pay off the half a dozen IRS liens attached to his assets. According to public court records, those federal income tax liens add up to several $1 million. Craig's attorney tells us he's made significant progress to settle the debts, but wouldn't provide an exact amount.
You're paying him $1 million of county tax money. Don't you think you should pay someone who is in turn paying their own taxes?
Well, maybe it's something that we maybe need to have a work session about and talk about. But at present, I personally say that it's his own personal business.
It seemed Mr. Craig didn't want to talk about it. He missed the last county board meeting and didn't respond to our multiple requests for an interview.
Mr. Craig?
We decided it was time to catch up with him at his law firm.
I'm Catie Beck. I'm from 11 Alive. I've been trying to get in touch with you. We're doing a story about the fact that you earned $1.1 million from the county last year. We have a number of other questions we'd like to talk to you about. Should we just wait here? Sir, you're an appointed official. You should answer these questions.
Speaking of budgets, the city allows for cash advances on travel so long as receipts are provided to back up the expense. If not, elected leaders are supposed to pay it back. But right now, Bond has a list of 22 city trips with missing receipts going back to 2010.
I have turned in the receipts here to my office, and I depend on my staff to turn them in. I'm unaware of that.
So you're saying 22 times your staff has just made a mistake?
No one has ever raised this issue with me.
So whose fault is it?
Well, ultimately, it's my responsibility because this is my office.
What do you plan to do about it?
Well, I plan to try to find out what the hell happened.
While he's looking into that, we're looking into his recent trip to D.C.
I went and met with officials in Washington, D.C., and toured some of the markers that they have there.
Bond missed his Wednesday flight to D.C., so he says his first meeting with the city official was canceled. So on Thursday, on his own, Bond says he toured free historical sites. Then we confirmed Friday afternoon, Bond met with the museum director and city employee for a total of about 3 hours. Saturday, Bond says he again toured on his own, and Sunday, he flew home.
Did you have any other personal business to do while you were there?
I mean, my father lives in D.C., so if I see my father, I hardly think I'm robbing the taxpayers if I visit with my father.
So a visit with your father was the only other personal business you had to do there?
Sure.
I came up with this website for the Bond family reunion. This has listed all of the events of your family reunion that was in D.C. that same weekend that you were doing your monument tours. Did you attend any of your family reunion?
I attended a dinner, yes.
Which dinner would that be?
That was on Saturday night.
He did more than that. And we have the proof.
When we found out that this reunion was going on at the same time that you were in D.C., we actually have a photographer that was there.
It wasn't until we told him we were there and that we followed him around to his family reunion that he admitted attending all of the events. We showed him these still pictures from our video. Yes, that's him with the Bond reunion t-shirt over his shoulder Saturday morning. And this is him Friday night at the Capitol Steps Comedy Club, posing with family, cast, and crew. And here he is getting into a cab with his daughters, wearing a t-shirt Saturday afternoon.
Coincidence that your family reunion was at the same time as your touring D.C.?
I would say it is a coincidence.
How much is too much, some are asking, and is it a political perk or an abuse of power?
On hot summer Saturdays in South Fulton County, the sound of music at Wolf Creek Amphitheater packs the lawn and the seats. Most concert goers take no issue with paying $50 or so to get in. However, it seems a select and rather large group pays nothing to get in and sits in the county-owned Skybox. As you might expect, plenty of people are taking issue with that.
At the end of the day, it's just flat wrong.
Watchdog William Perry sees no gray area.
I think this is an abuse of power. This is the kind of thing people don't want to see.
The power of Skybox entry belongs solely to Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington. He rarely misses a show and decides which guests will join him. Not just a few guests, the Skybox holds between 80 and 90 people.
It causes, naturally and understandably, great resentment.
Fellow Fulton Commissioner Lee Morris says many families would see this system as an elected privilege. Some first learned when Arrington sent an invite to commissioners saying, quote, "I would love for you to join me if you and a guest would like to attend any of the concerts."
Have anything to do with that is not true.
Okay. It spurred a heated discussion at the last county commission meeting. Arrington, visibly upset, defended the practice.
Well, unless you send Ted Jackson out there to arrest me, I'm going to continue to do what we've been doing out there. Put in your resolution that you're going to have the sheriff or the police chief come arrest me, because that's what it's going to take.
So we dug deeper. Turns out the Skybox is a catered party, complete with a bar. Arrington offers tickets to community groups, friends, and families. Our cameras captured him here enjoying a concert in early July, and cameras have several times captured Arrington posing with the performers at the venue. He even has an assigned parking spot feet from the gate.
What does that say about maybe privilege or, conflict of interest?
I don't know how anyone could defend it. Again, it's a county facility. It's not a district commissioner's facility.
So we asked Arrington.
Can you see why people might have an ethical problem with you having so much control over those tickets? Can you see why people might think that's not a good idea?
I think I can understand why some may have a problem. I don't know if it has to do with ethics or jealousy.
Arrington said his predecessor started the Skybox system, but he says he started giving more tickets to community groups affected by the traffic and the noise.
I've adopted a policy and a procedure to make sure that it's not just me and my friends in the box.
But Perry says those lines get blurry.
It helps him personally. It helps his campaign by getting him votes. It doesn't help the public.
And these are people that are likely going to be voting for you again. I mean, can you see how people would think this would be campaigning on the county dime?
I guess it's a burden and a blessing.
Arrington says he's working, entertaining on behalf of the county.
The concert certainly isn't the worst atmosphere to be in and to be working, but we're out there working.